Flicker or sprint? Skill 1 or skill 2? What is squad power? Items, ability, emblem, and talents. If you want to know everything about Lesley, watch this video till end. One of the abilities that players often overlook at the beginning of the game is Lesley first skill, and the strategy associated with it. Choosing Lesley first skill gives you the opportunity to enter the gold lane area faster than the opponent's marksman by using it consecutively, gaining complete control of the area. Once you enter the gold lane zone and force the enemy to retreat, it is very important to increase your farming and gold mining speed. To do this, you need to deal controlled damage to enemy units, so you can launch the final attack yourself. You can see the difference in rewards when you don't hit the final blow versus when you hit the final blow. For further farming and mining, as you can see, you need to land the final blow to destroy the unit to have the full gold mine. Keep in mind that you can only use the golden catapult minions for the first 5 minutes of the game, after which they will turn into regular catapult minions, and during these 5 minutes, roam and jungle cannot take your coins while you are there. So let's move on to the next part. Here I will teach Lesley combos. The main power that Lesley has is related to her passive, and I want to show you how many times Lesley can use her passive in the one fight. As you saw in the tutorial, Lesley passive automatically activates every 5 seconds if she doesn't delay it by taking damage. But overall, this isn't enough to engage in a long battle, so you can use skills 1, 2, and the ultimate to recharge the passive. And to activate the passive with the ultimate, you need just cancel it like in the tutorial in the video. Lesley next combo allows you to mark the enemy in the fight, which of course depends on the enemy's pick conditions, and is effective if the enemy can't unhide Lesley. It is very simple. Activate the ultimate and immediately use skill 1. In the squad power section, Lesley and Harley are placed in the same squad because they have a close story connection and are siblings. Thus, if both are on the same team and in the same battle, 10 HP will be added to each part of their total HP. Now that you are familiar with the basics of Lesley tutorial, let's go on to item tutorial, which is very important. There are 2 item builds for Lesley which include attack speed and high damage. The attack speed build is used in very few matches, and the general and practical item build for Lesley is high damage. You can see the difference between the 2 builds in the video. Don't forget that if no one on your team has a finisher, you are required to buy this item at the very beginning. Another thing that is only used late in the game is that, if you don't need the speed, you can replace the boot item with the Blade of Despair. Flicker or sprint? In this part of tutorial, we will have the method of play with flicker and sprint. Let's start with flicker. Flicker is very useful for explosive attacks and sudden escapes, but during the fight, you will only have the right to choose once. If the enemy is not available, you can use a flicker to frustrate and ground him, or when you are under an all out attack, you can use a flicker and skill 1 to get out of the hit of the enemies and get yourself to a safe area. This fast relocation will sometimes have a direct and positive effect on Lesley's combos, such as bypassing enemy defenders in the ultimate. On the other hand, among the battle spells suitable for Lesley, we have sprint, which is suitable for different method of playing, including attack, counter-attack, and escape. So, given the speed that the battle spell Aperture gives you, Lesley gains amazing maneuverability, which allows her to perform chain and consecutive attacks that can either cause the enemy to retreat or completely wipe out. At the end of the video, I will provide you with a complete suggested build based on the tutorial. Well, we have reached the most important part of the tutorial, namely emblems and talents. Many players think that the marksman emblem could be suitable for Lesley, while this emblem provides more attack speed and healing, which is suitable for team marksmen like Mia. But Lesley is a marksman assassin with high damage and finisher, so she needs extra damage by physical pen armor buster. But it is a little different with talents because the fatal talent from the marksman branch gives you a significant percentage of crit damage, while the rupture talent from the assassin branch only gives you 5 adaptive penetration. In the second talent, you will have 2 options. First, Weapons Master, which adds 8% to the destructive power of your purchased items, and then Master Assassin, which increases all of your hero's destructive powers, including passive, primary power, item, battle spell, and even your orange buff by 7%, provided that you are in a 1 vs 1 fight, and it will not be useful in other situations. In the next part we have the super talents, which include 3 super talents suitable for Lesley, which you can use according to your own playing method. These 3 super talents are Quantum Charge, Warcry, Lethal Ignition. First, we have Quantum Charge, which activates with a basic attack and gives you 1.5 seconds of speed, restores 180 horsepower, and even releases you from slow mode, recharging every 10 seconds. The next super talent is Warcry, which increases your basic attack damage by 8% for 8 seconds after you hit 3 basic attacks, and recharges talent every 8 seconds. And the last super talent suitable for Lesley is Lethal Ignition, which activates if you take 7% of an enemy's total HP 3 times within 5 seconds, setting the enemy on fire and dealing up to 750 points of damage. And in the final section, we have the settings tailored to heroes, which you can make specifically for Lesley, so that the settings appear whenever you're picking the Lesley. And finally, if you have no idea about having a build and settings for Lesley, you can use these default settings and build that I provide you. Thank you for watching the tutorial until the end. If you liked this video, I would appreciate it if you would like it and introduce our channel to your friends.